let us begin the chapter. I will read out the chapter to you and we will explain difficult word meaning also. Rush hour crowds jostle for position on the underground train platform. A slight girl, looking younger than her 17 years, was nervous yet excited as she felt the vibration of the approaching train. It was her first day at the prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London, and dusting enough for any teenager fresh from a Scottish farm. But this aspiring musician faced a big challenge than most. She was profoundly deaf. So here in the beginning or in the first paragraph, what happened? We will see the situation or the scenario is where the scenario is a underground platform. Underground platform means just have a look on the picture. It is a underground platform scenario. So it is a rush hour. The time is a rush hour. Rush hour means what? Usually hours of crowd, when numbers of peoples gather at a particular place, especially at a train station or in market or in mall, when numbers of peoples were gathered, that is the time. And the peoples were what doing? They were jostle. Jostle means what? Jostle means push roughly. Push roughly means push with each other they are pushing, and in that way all the peoples were just busy in their own ways. That means they are proceeding towards their job. Some peoples are returning to their home. So in that situation, what happened? We'll find out a slight girl. Slight girl means what? A girl which is a very small and thin, as well as that girl is weak one, who was looking younger than her 17 years. So at that time a girl was there in that crowd, and that girl is about younger, or that girl is looking quite younger than her age. And what is the age of that girl was? That girl was about 17 years old, but she looked very younger than her age. And moreover, she felt quite excited as well as when she felt the vibration of a approaching train. A train is coming towards that girl, and that girl is feeling little bit excited, as well as she was also nervous. And why she was nervous? Because it was her first day at the prestigious Royal Academy of Music. So might be she was traveling towards the Royal Academy of Music in London, and what happened? It was the first day of her in that Royal Academy of Music. So she was quite nervous as well as excited. Okay, and when she felt the vibration or approaching train vibration, she was more excited, and at the same time she was also daunting. Daunting means what? She was frightening enough for any teenager fresh from a Scottish farm. So that girl is belong to Scotland. A person who belongs to Scotland is called a Scottish person. So she belongs to Scotland, and she was proceeding. She was going towards the London Royal Academy of Music. She wants to, or she was going to join the Royal Academy of London. At that time, what happened? That girl is quite aspiring and aspiring musician, and who face bigger challenges than most. So as compared to the other aspiring musician means what? Ambitious. Ambitious means what? Ambitious means who is having a aim, who is having a goal. So all the musicians, or the initial stage, what happened? Musicians also need to fight, or they also need to fight each other. It doesn't mean they fight for the position. They are trying to get a start. So for this girl also, for that Scottish girl also, she is fighting, or she is a very ambitious girl, because as compared to the other one, she was having a lot of problem. And what that one is, one of that bigger challenge she was having is she was profoundly deaf. What is the meaning of profoundly? Profoundly means completely. So that girl is first of all completely deaf one, and that one is the most challenging. That one is the most challenge for the girl or for that Scottish girl. Have a look on the next one. Evelyn Glennie's loss of a hearing had been gradual. Her mother remembers noticing something was wrong when the 8-year-old Evelyn was waiting to play the piano. They called her name and she didn't move. I suddenly realized she didn't heard, says Isabel Glennie. For quite a while, Evelyn managed to conceal her growing deafness from friends and teachers, but by the time she was 11, her marks had deteriorated, and her headmistress urged her parents to take her to a specialist. So what happened? Evelyn's deafness, or the deficiency or the physical deficiency of Evelyn was not happened at a time, or from the birth one, Evelyn was not a deaf child. She was, or her deafness or her loss of a hearing ability, loss of hearing ability had been gradually, means it is she lost her ability of hearing gradually. Gradually means what? Slowly, or in a slow process, or in a slow way, or step by step. After 1 year, she little bit not able to hear. Then after 2 years, in this way. After 3 years, after 4 years, in this way, she lost completely her her ability of hearing at the age of 11. So when she was 8 years old, at that time her mother remember once she was waiting for play the piano. She was waiting for playing piano, and the name of Evelyn was also announced in microphone. They called the Evelyn, but Evelyn was not able to hear. She was not able to hear, and suddenly her mother realized that she hadn't heard. She hadn't heard means what? Evelyn not able to heard her name, and this one is said by Isabel Glennie. Isabel Glennie is who? Isabel Glennie is the father of Evelyn Glennie. Okay, so for a while, Evelyn managed to console her growing deafness. So what happened? In this way, Evelyn just try to manage her deafness. She just try to keep hide or keep secret her problem, her deficiency from the friends and from the teachers. But by the time when she was 11, so when Evelyn was 11 years, might be she was in 9th class or 8th class. At the time, her marks were completely deteriorated. Deteriorated means what? It is to impair, means it is completely worsened, means her marks were very less, and at the time her headmistress called her parents and suggest her, or she urged means what? To persist means to insist somebody. So the headmistress of Evelyn Glennie urged to the parents of Evelyn that you took this child, you just take this child to a specialist, or you just or she need a proper care, or she need to visit a specialist. Have a look on the next one. It was then discovered that her hearing was severely impaired as a result of a gradual nerve damage. They were advised that she should be fitted with hearing aids and sent to a school for the deaf. Everything suddenly looked black, says Evelyn. So what happened? After visiting to a doctor, or after visiting to a specialist, what happened? She was discovered, or she was revealed, or in her report it comes that gradually, because of her nerve damaging. Nerve damaging means what? Your hearing nerves were not working properly. So her nerve damaging, or because of her nerve damaging, she was not able to hear, or her hearing abilities completely become impaired, or impair means what? To worsen, means she is now not able to hear any sort of thing, and it is the result of what? It is the result of a gradual nerve damage. Gradual nerve damage means slowly the hearing knobs, or whatever the knobs are there in our ears, that were damaged gradually or slowly. They were advised. Who were advised? the specialists were advised to fit some hearing aids. Hearing aids means what? We are having a numbers of hearing aids, like we will fit into our ear, and we are able to hear the sound. So the specialist advised to Evelyn Glennie to fit some hearing aids and sent to a deaf school. So here the specialist suggests the parents of Evelyn Glennie that you need to send this child, or you need to send Evelyn to a deaf school. At the moment when she heard this one, she was completely become confused. She is not able to know what to do, and in front of him a black would be visible, means in front of her everything would remain black. Okay, so further one we will discuss in our next class. Thank you.